Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our forum on understanding thunderstorm. I'm Dr. Farah, your moderator for today. We have an excellent panel of experts who will share their various insights on various aspects of thunderstorm. Our goal today is to enhance our preparedness and understanding of this powerful natural event. Now, let me introduce our panels. Our first panel is Dr. Eva, a renowned meteorologist. So our second panel is Dr. Rizal, a leading researcher in climate studies. Our third panel is Dr. Shura, a scientist specializing in atmospheric science. Our last panel is Ms. Rose, an expert in disaster recovery. Now, we will start with an overview of thunderstorm, followed by detailed presentation from each of our panelists. Thunderstorms are fascinating and complex weather phenomena that can have significant impact on our environment and communities. They can bring much needed rain, but they can also cause severe damage through lightning, strong wind, hail, and even tornadoes. Understanding their formation, life cycle, and the hazard they pose is crucial for improving our preparedness and response. Now, let's dive deeper into this topic with insight from our expert. To begin, Dr. Eva will explain the life cycle of thunderstorm. Dr. Eva, could you walk us through the stage of thunderstorm and formation to dissipation?
Yes, of course. The life cycle of a thunderstorm can be divided into three main stages, which are the developing stage, mature stage, and dissipating stage. Each stage has its own characteristics, which are cloud formation and weather condition. About the lifespan of a thunderstorm, it is also typically around 30 minutes and it progresses through those three stages. In the developing stage, this is the first stage of a thunderstorm development. It begins with the formation of cumulus clouds, which are large, puffy clouds with a flat base and a rounded top. These clouds are formed when warm air rises and cool, causing moisture to condense into water droplets. Then it means precipitation occurs during this stage. In the mature stage, it is the most intense phase of a thunderstorm marked by development of mature cumulonimbus cloud. These massive clouds can reach height of 4,000 to 60,000 feet and is associated with heavy rain, frequent lightning, strong wind, and hail. The powerful updraft and downdraft coexist within the cloud, creating a turbulent environment, and then the downdraft cools the air and produces a precipitation which falls as a rain or hail. For the dissipating stage, this is the final stage, marked by the weakening of the updraft and downdraft takeover. The warm air supply is cut off, causing the storm to dissipate. The precipitation begins to taper off, and lightning becomes less frequent. The cloud takes on flattened and anvil shape like as a crystal. At the top are spread out by strong wind. Eventually, the storm weakens and dissipates entirely, leaving behind scattered clouds or cirrus waves. So it's important to note that not all thunderstorms go through all three stages, and some storms may dissipate quickly, while others may remain in the mature stage for a more extended period. And also, some thunderstorms may originate after they dissipate. So it's essential to stay alert and aware of changing weather conditions. Therefore, the life cycle of a thunderstorm illustrates the dynamic process involved in the formation, maturation, dissipation of this powerful weather system. By understanding each stage, it can help meteorologists predict the development and potential impact of a thunderstorm and improving weather forecasting and public safety.
Thank you, Dr. Eva. It's important to understand this stage to better predict and prepare for thunderstorm. Now, Dr. Rizal will discuss the different type of thunderstorm. Dr. Rizal, can you explain the various type of thunderstorm we may encounter?
Sure. One common type is a single cell thunderstorm. They are a small, short-lived storm that don't usually turn severe. Another type is the multi-cell thunderstorm. These form in cluster and can bring heavy rain, strong winds, and hail as they move along. Next is about supercell thunderstorm, the most dangerous kind. They can produce tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds due to the rotating updraft called mesocyclone. In addition, supercell thunderstorm can also cause flash floods together with the tornado. Then, there are squall line thunderstorm, long line of storm along the cold front. They can cause widespread damage with the strong winds and heavy rain. Plus, this thunderstorm also move across a region. Mesocyclone convective system or MCS thunderstorm are organized cluster that persist for hours, often leading to flooding and strong winds. Apart from that, MCS thunderstorm often occur at night, therefore people can recognize it immediately. Lastly, dry line thunderstorm form along boundaries of dry and moist air. They are common in the central US and can bring severe weather like hail and tornado. Understanding the different types of thunderstorm can help meteorologists predict their behavior and issue timely warnings to keep people safe from the potential hazard associated with this storm. Each type of thunderstorm has its own unique characteristic and possess varying level of risk to life and property.
Understanding the different type of thunderstorm help us appreciate their varying impact and the importance of tailored preparation strategies. Before we proceed, as a researcher in climate studies, could you briefly outline the key preparedness civilians could make during a harsh thunderstorm?
Certainly. First, people should stay informed by monitoring local weather report. They should have an emergency kit ready with essential like flashlight, batteries, first aid supplies, and non-perishable food. It is also important to secure outdoor objects that could be blown away. Inside, they should unplug electronic devices and avoid using corded phones. If possible, they should stay indoors during the storm, away from windows. Lastly, having emphasized the importance of avoiding water-related activities during a thunderstorm as water conduct electricity. Also, if caught outside, people should avoid high ground, isolated trees, and metal objects. The key is to find safe shelter as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Dr. Rizal. Next, Dr. Shura will discuss the science behind lightning and thunder. Dr. Shura, could you explain the science behind lightning and thunder and how they are related?
Yes, sure. Thunderstorms occur when warm, moist air rises into the atmosphere, creating a convective system that results in the formation of clouds and precipitation. First, the sun hits the Earth's surface, causing warm, moist air to rise into the atmosphere. As the air rises, it cools and the water vapor condenses into water droplets, forming clouds. When the air cools enough to reach its dew point, cumulus clouds begin to form. And downdraft, that is falling air, develop, creating a turbulent environment. If the conditions are right, sufficient moisture, instability, and lift, the cumulus clouds can develop into cumulonimbus clouds, which are tall and wheel-shaped clouds associated with thunderstorm. Because of that, the strong updraft and downdraft within the cumulonimbus clouds cause the separation of electric charge. When the difference in charge becomes great enough, a discharge of electricity occurs, resulting in lightning. The rapid expansion and heating of air around the lightning channel create the sound wave we hear as thunder. It will cause wind damage. Strong wind from thunderstorm can damage trees, buildings, and power lines, disrupting human activity and natural habitat. Then, the continued growth of the cloud leads to the formation of heavy precipitation, such as rain. The downdraft brings the precipitation down to the ground. Eventually, the storm uses up its available energy or moves into a least favorable environment, leading to its dissipation. So, thunderstorms can be severe, producing heavy rain, strong winds, and even tornadoes. They are most common in the spring and summer months but can occur year-round in many regions.
Thank you, Dr. Shura. Can we know what caused lightning during the thunderstorm?
Yes, sure. Lightning is caused by the build-up of electrical charge within a thunderstorm. As ice particles within the cloud collide, they create an electric field. When the electric field becomes strong enough, it causes a discharge of electricity, resulting in lightning.
Thank you, Dr. Shura. The connection between lightning and thunder is indeed fascinating and underscore the power and energy involved in thunderstorm. Finally, Ms. Rose will provide us with safety tips and discuss the hazard associated with thunderstorm. Ms. Rose, can you explain what exactly constitutes a thunderstorm and what makes it hazardous?
A thunderstorm is a type of weather in which is both lightning and then thunder, and there is also often a downpour, gust of winds, and sometimes hail. Lightning, flash floods, strong wind, and hail are the most common threats thunderstorm create. Any of these elements can lead to immense harm and even endanger human life and property.
I understand. Could you explain the kind of dangers? For example, let me point at lightning.
Sure, that is accurate. Lightning is one of the most deadly things that are associated with thunderstorms. It may directly strike the ground, thus causing fires, blackouts, and sometimes death. From the impacts of electrical burns and shock, one also can be affected. As you hear the thunder, that is a critical range within which one might be struck by lightning.
That's a good point. Well, what about the threat of flash flood during a thunderstorm?
And then another stochastic risk of flash floods, which is very brief, heavy rain accompanied by thunderstorm. Now, this floods the drainage system and water overflows, which is dangerous and can impact life, structure, and transportation in poor draining urban environments or near rivers or streams.
And high winds? What kind of damage can they possibly bring?
Windstorms that are associated with turbulence accompanied with thunderstorms are very destructive, especially because the winds causes uprooting of trees, damaging of structure, houses, and formation of flying objects, which may lead to death. Tornadoes, which are sometimes formed by storms, are more destructive because of the rotary movement of the wind.
We have hail. Check out the formation process of this phenomenon and the type of damage it can produce.
It occurs when the ascending wet particles in the form of raindrops are lifted to very cold parts on the atmosphere, and then they harden into ice pellets. In some cases, big hail can be produced depending on the up and down tossing of the developing hail within the thunderstorm. The hail is formed completely when it is too heavy to be lifted up anymore. It then falls on the ground, damaging plants, cars, and other property.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. It's clear that understanding both the scientific and practical aspect of thunderstorm is essential for effective preparedness and response. Ms. Rose, what step can individual and communities take to mitigate the risk associated with thunderstorm?
Preparation is the key. Individual should stay informed about the weather condition, have a plan in place for seeking shelter, and avoid using electrical appliances during a storm. One part of them, local government may make investment in enhanced infrastructure such as a better drainage system and construction regulation that guarantee building can endure strong winds. And then to assist individuals understand the hazard and how to respond appropriately, education and awareness efforts are so essential.
That is an excellent point. How about the long-term impact on the environment and what can we do to minimize this effect?
Yes, it is important to note that the impact of the thunderstorm is long-term of the affecting the natural environment through such as calamities as soil erosion, water pollution, and damage to the ecosystem. Reducing these impacts can be done by sustaining proper land use, extend reclamation of the natural vegetation cover, and protection of wetland as the act of barriers against flooding. And lastly, the effects can be managed through more research on disaster and others monitoring.
Thank you all for your insight. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thought or advice for our audience?
Yes, sure. Stay informed and take thunderstorm seriously. Always heed weather warnings and take appropriate action to protect ourselves and our property. Have an emergency plan in place and make sure our family knows what to do during a storm. Preparation can save life. Think long term and support policies and practice that protect our environment from the impacts of severe weather. Lastly, together we can build some resilient community.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. These practical tips are invaluable for staying safe during thunderstorm. Thank you all our panelists for their valuable contribution and our audience for your participation. It's clear that understanding thunderstorm and enhanced preparedness involve a multi-phase approach, integrating science, technology, and community engagement. Let's continue to work together to improve our resilience against this powerful nature event. Have a nice day. Miss Rose, can you explain what exactly constitutes a thunderstorm and what make it hazardous? Ini macam soalan satu. Our second panel is Dr. Rizal, a leading researcher in climate studies. Sekali lagi sekejap. Sekali lagi. 1, 2, 3. Our third panel is Dr. Shura, a scientist specializing in atmospheric science.
Lagi sekali. Aku balik.
Nama kau malkan nama kau. Hai, kau fikir dia apa?
Jadi begini je lah tu.
Kau fikir dia apa? Belum. Preparation is the key. Individual should stay informed about the weather condition, have a plan in a place for seeking shelter, and avoid using electrical appliance during a storm. And other apa ni?
It's essential to stay alert and aware of changing weather conditions. Therefore, the life cycle of a thunderstorm Aku dah tahu saya di mana. In the mature stage, it is the most intense phase of a thunderstorm, marked by the development of mature cumulonimbus cloud, the massive cloud. Sabar.